Dear students, today I am going to discuss about nucleophilic substitution reaction. As you can see here, two important things are there. One is nucleophile, other is substitution reaction. So first I am going to discuss about nucleophile and the substitution reaction. So what is nucleophile? Nucleophiles are the compounds which carry the negative charge or they are electron-rich compounds. So nucleophile are the compounds which carry negative charge and they are electron rich. The most common example of nucleophiles are cyanide ion and hydroxy ion. So here you can see both these ions carry the negative charge because they are rich in electrons and they use for the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Remaining many other examples of nucleophiles are there. Next is substitution process or substitution reaction. Here I will explain this substitution reaction with a common example. Let's see, this is AB1 molecule. When it reacts with C, so here you can see the substitution. Substitution means the replacement of one atom or group by the other atom or group in a molecule. So here we can see this is our AB, a molecule which reacts with C. So here C has replaced the B. So here you can see A and C, the new molecule has been formed where the C has substituted the B and B has to leave this molecule. So that is called the substitution reaction. So as its name indicates, nucleophilic substitution reaction means here the substitution will occur by the nucleophile. So we can see when this molecule AB, it react with a nucleophile, then AC and B will leave. So here this is the nucleophilic substitution reaction where AB molecule react with C nucleophile, it is having negative charge, and C will replace the B and B will act as a leaving group, means it has to leave the molecule. So this is called the substitution process where one atom or a functional group has to be replaced by the other nucleophile. That is called the nucleophilic substitution reaction. Generally, the nucleophilic substitution reaction proceeds in two ways, which is known as SN1 and SN2. So here the nucleophilic substitution is represented by SN type reactions. This nucleophilic substitution is classified into two types, SN1 and SN2 type. SN1 nucleophilic substitution and SN2 nucleophilic substitution. So in SN1 nucleophilic substitution, it is a unimolecular substitution reaction, while SN2 is bimolecular substitution reaction. It follow first order kinetics, while SN2 follow the second order kinetics. Now in short, I am going to explain about this. SN1 means unimolecular substitution reaction. It means the rate of reaction depends on SN1 depends on the concentration of only one of the reactant. That is why it is known as unimolecular substitution reaction. Means the rate will depend on the concentration of substrate. And here substrate are alkyl halide. The nucleophilic substitution reaction generally takes place in alkyl halides compound. Means alkyl halide, alkyl group with halide group. Here the rate of reaction depends on the concentration of both the substrate. Means in SN2 the rate of reaction will depends on the concentration of both reactant. So that is why it is a bimolecular substitution reaction. Bimolecular means two molecule. So in SN2 it is a bimolecular substitution reaction. SN1 is a unimolecular substitution reaction. So here the rate of reaction depends on the concentration of both the reactant. And here both the reactants are, one is alkyl halide and the second is nucleophile. So the SN1 type reaction independent of the concentration of nucleophile. It simply depends on the concentration of substrate, which is alkyl halide. while the SN2 reaction depends on the both concentration of alkyl halide and the concentration of nucleophile. So that is why it is called as bimolecular substitution reaction. Now I am going to explain the SN1 nucleophilic substitution reaction. Let's see one example. SN1 nucleophilic substitution reaction generally takes place in two steps. In the first step, the formation of cation takes place. So here you can see the A and B will split into A plus and B minus. So this is the formation of cation. And this is the negative charge ion or anion. So this is the slow step. The splitting is the slowest step and this will determine the rate of the reaction. Second step. So here you can see in the second step, this is the nucleophile and this is the cation. They will form AC, the new compound, and this is the faster step. So here in SN1 reaction, the rate of reaction ultimately depends on the concentration of A, B, not on the concentration of C. And here the rate of reaction is determined on this slow step. The slow step will determine the rate of reaction in SN1 type nucleophilic substitution reaction. So here you can see the AB is split into A plus and B minus, that is the slowest step, and this slow step is the rate determining step. And then in second step, the A plus or the cation react with this nucleophile to form this compound. So here you can see the B is substituted by the C. So that is why it is the nucleophilic substitution reaction, which is SN1 means the unimolecular substitution reaction, where the involvement of one substrate is more and it is independent of the concentration of this nucleophile. So by this common example, you can easily understand the SN1 nucleophilic substitution reaction requires two things. One is alkyl halide and other is nucleophile. These are the two important components in nucleophilic substitution reaction. So here first I am going to explain the SN1 reaction, which is unimolecular substitution reaction. In short, I have written unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction. The SN1 reaction, which is also known as unimolecular substitution reaction, and the rate of the reaction depends on the concentration of one substrate, that is alkyl halide, and it is independent of the concentration of nucleophile. So here I will explain it with one example. So this is our tertiary butyl bromide. When it reacts with OH or hydroxy, it gives tertiary butyl alcohol. So in this example, you can see the bromide is substituted by the hydroxy group. So here the substitution takes place and bromine will be liberated. So this bromide ion is known as leaving group, means which leaves the molecule. So here this reaction follow the first order kinetics, means the rate of reaction will depend on the concentration of tertiary butyl bromide. Even if we will increase the concentration of hydroxy ion, then also there will be no effect on rate of the reaction. Means the rate of reaction, if we want to increase, then we have to increase the concentration of tertiary butyl bromide. Even if we will increase the concentration of nucleophile, it is not going to affect the reaction. So ultimately the SN1 reaction is a unimolecular reaction, as it depends on the concentration of substrate only, which is alkyl halide. So in SN1 reaction, it takes place in two steps generally. The first step is slower one and the second step is the faster one. You can see the nucleophile OH minus will replace the bromide ion. See, the bond between carbon and bromine can be easily broken and the OH can easily replace this bromide ion. So the energy to break this bond between carbon and bromide is less, and when this OH will form a bond with this carbon, the energy will utilize to break this bond. So here you can see this is the example. Now we will discuss this reaction step by step. So in first step, the formation of carbocation takes place. So here you can see, which is also called as ionization process. Ionization means this molecule will convert it into ion. So here you can see the formation of carbocation takes place. Here the carbon with positive charge and bromide ion is liberated, or it leave this tertiary butyl bromide, so it is called as leaving group. So this is the slow step or the rate determining step. So whole reaction depends on the formation of this carbocation. The more number of this carbocation will form, the more will be the substitution by the OH ion. So the rate of reaction depends on the formation of carbocation. So this is the important step. In step 2, the carbocation react with nucleophile. So here in the first step, the carbocation is generated, which reacts with nucleophile and form tertiary butyl alcohol. So this is the first step. So if the more number of this carbocation formation will occur, the nucleophile can easily form a bond with this carbocation. So ultimately the rate of reaction depends on the formation of carbocation. The more carbocation will present in the reaction, more it will react with OH. Now I am going to explain about the stereochemistry of SN1 reaction. See, in SN1 reaction, the first step is the formation of carbocation. So I have explained the example of tertiary butyl bromide. Stereochemistry depends on the first step because the carbocation formation will take place. Then the nucleophile has an opportunity to attack on that carbocation from any side. So I will explain the stereochemistry by taking that example only. See, this is our carbocation and this is our nucleophile OH minus. So if both of these have to react in the second step, this OH have an opportunity to either attack from this side or it has an opportunity to attack from the back side. Attack means the attachment position. So here this nucleophile has an opportunity to attach with carbon from this side or to attach with carbon from back side, because now as the bromine has already left this tertiary butyl bromide and it became carbocation, now OH can attach from this side or from the back side. So there is a possibility of formation of two types of product. In first case, this could be our product, and in second case this would be our product. So in both the case you can see the configuration has been changed. So in SN1 type reaction we will get a racemic mixture. Two type of isomer we will get. So isomeric mixture will be obtained in SN1 reaction because the nucleophile has an opportunity to form a bond with carbon from either front side or from the back side. So when it will attach from the front side, it will have a different stereochemistry. When this nucleophile will attach from the front side, then you will get another isomer. If it will attach at the back side, you will get the other type of isomer. So ultimately in SN1 both the mixture of isomers. So there is a possibility of formation of both the compounds. So in SN1 the configuration can be inverted, means the position where the bromine has left, it is not necessary that the hydroxy group will occupy that same position. Here you can see it has formed a bond from the front side with carbon, and here it has a form a bond with back side of the carbon. So it means that here we will get a different isomer. So this term is known as Walden inversion. means the configuration will be reversed. So here you can see this terminology is known as Walden inversion, means whatever the product we are expecting is this, that simply the place of bromine will be replaced by the hydroxy ion. But instead of that, we got the mixture of two isomers, in which in first case hydroxy group attached on this side, and in second case the hydroxy group attached on the back side of the carbon. So because of that, the configuration has been changed. So this term is known as Walden inversion. So you will get a mixture of this products in SN1 reaction.
Dear students, if you found this video useful, then tap the like button and subscribe my channel to get latest update of my other videos.